Yeah, so what happened last time, guys?
Oh boy.
It's been a minute.
Well, we fled from the temple of Aman?
The Allfather, Anam.
Anan.
Yeah, that was last time, huh?
Holy shit, was it
that?
really?
Was it?
I think it was. Yeah.
So, we
This is now day 155. That was 5 days ago.
Yeah, and then you did some cool stuff with that meeting.
Yeah, that was in Nesme.
The ruins of Nesme.
We busted up some Zentarum that pointed us in the right direction, kind of. Then we went to Nesme, and I did some magic, did some yelling, and then we left. So yeah, we ended up flying into the sky, as usual,
Yep.
where we came upon a castle on a cloud, as
Yes.
usual.
The next day, as they. Yeah, as fucking usual, apparently.
Yeah, there's fucking castles and clouds.
Well, I mean, once you guys start flying around,
Well, yeah.
That's in the sky,
the
I
giants
guess.
are lower than they have been in many years. The cloud giants. They don't normally come this low.
Yeah, they could have been, they were above us the whole time.
Yeah.
We just couldn't see them. They're on the top of the cloud. Presumably.
And even then, you've seen them in your travels. Several.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah.
Even ones you haven't, come across.
Oh yeah, and there was a dragon screaming.
Oh yeah, inside the castle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we have a pretty good hypothesis for who was in there.
Yeah.
Just follow the scientific method, everybody.
Yeah.
Like, we've caused dragons to roar out in pain before. That's what that
it
sounds
sounded
like.
So that's what happened.
Yep, that is what happened. Some repairs were made to the ship's balloon.
Yep. I have
Some.
that. 1 out of 16.
Yep.
Shitty notes last time.
Yeah.
Philo, Priest of Bane. Did we encounter that? Did I just have a
He
vision?
said that was the leader of the Zentarum you guys had discovered.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
that's right.
when we interrogated that dude.
Yeah.
And that was that guy that was there casting counterspell and shit.
Dispel magic, yeah.
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 Cool. I put that. Okay.
Did we change your Eldritch Blast thing? Your Hail of Thorns as Eldritch Overcharge
I'll put that.
instead? And it's now on your spell list as as one of your known spells.
Is it
We'll do that.
a new spell?
No.
Kind of ish. We're changing because he learned Hail of Thorns from the druid. But
I don't have a bow anymore.
he doesn't ever use a bow.
Wait.
So I decided instead of letting him cast it once a day, he can use a bonus action to enhance his Eldritch Blast and cause it to do the same thing as Hail of Thorns.
Cool.
But it requires concentration up to a minute until one of his Eldritch Blasts hits.
Okay.
So not that crazy, but it's something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's just a cool warlock spell that you learned from a druid. Because you overcharge it with natural energy.
Cool. I like it.
Alright, do we have any questions about how stuff works or anything before we start? You guys see this castle in the sky. Are you guys gonna approach it?
Fuck, not again. I'm down.
Yeah, I'm down.
You guys trying
Where
to...
are we on the deck? Are we all on the deck?
I believe so.
Okay.
At least I think so.
Yeah, where we left off, I can't remember.
Yeah. If not, I'm sure, and if anyone was below deck, you'd shout through the hole
Immediately
there.
come up deck, yeah.
And be like, hey, yo, the fuck? Come look at this.
Yeah.
What's this from?
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, so you
Is it
guys
royalty free? I'm joking.
came across this this castle with 3 spires. You could see it has 3 towers, and there's 2 spires that you see are kind of farther away on a separate cloud. They're connected by a bridge, and there's this large castle. It has 3 kind of circular Cornelian kind of looks like that.
Sweet.
It kind of has 3 towers, and you notice that the 3 spires are there. When you mentioned that you'd like to go there, upon the fearless monarch.
That's us.
We're done.
No, we gotta meet this person.
Yeah.
It's important.
Sarissa? Yes.
Delphine.
Sorry.
Delphine mentions that there's only a couple places that she can see where she could probably take you guys.
Do they have like a main courtyard we could maybe land in, or like in front of the front gates?
Yeah, she says there seems to be like a kind of arrival-ish platform or some kind of gatehouse at the front.
Perfect.
Kind of circle around.
We want to appear diplomatic. We want to be diplomatic.
Okay.
From what we know about Countess Sansuri is that she has a lot of other cloud giants following her. She is looking for Asterian artifacts and stuff like that, ancient giant things. Mentioning this, is there some way I can cover up my breastplate?
You guys have cloaks.
Yeah.
I
don't want to leave it behind, but I do want to hide it.
Yeah, you have
at the very least, hide the symbol.
You have your winter wolf
I just
coat.
like
Perfect. It's
Scrape.
fucking freezing up here, probably.
It's pretty cold, yeah.
scrape a little mud off myself and like put it on your chest.
Right.
There you go.
I appreciate that.
There you go.
She is trying to depose King Blagthicus, whose dead son asked us to kill. What was his dead son's name?
Igeron.
Igeron. And what's the term for when a parent kills a child? Like how patricide is when you kill your dad?
Oh.
Whatever, I guess none of us know it. I guess it's never used.
That's a good thing.
Filicide.
Filicide. I don't know but like if I said that to somebody, they'd be like, what does that mean? And I would just have to clarify. So,
Yeah.
No, it totally makes sense.
I have no clue what kind of woman this countess is.
The kind likes to torture dragons. That's what you told me.
It sounds like it.
So I'm gonna stay here.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
I don't want to live in here.
I don't either, but
I'm okay.
Delphine says, a dragonborn and a dragon are 2 very different things. For instance, your lifespan is vastly insignificant in comparison.
Wow, Delphine. Don't hold anything back.
I'm just saying, she says.
She's probably not going to be super bothered.
And she's like, yeah, she's
Alright.
like,
Well then, yeah, I want to go. Missed out last time.
yeah.
Swear to God, though. You guys have to rescue me.
Yeah. So
Can
as
we
you
cast disguise self? I don't think we can.
I don't think so.
I think that only works on self.
I think I sold that pixie powder. That probably could have done something.
Mm.
That was a million years ago.
Yes, as you guys approach, built atop a separate cloud connected to the main keep by a large stone bridge, is a gatehouse. Battlements surround the gatehouse's arrival platform and bridge. You guys kind of noticed it's a large gate. When you guys kind of approach, you notice there's also like the beginnings of a cloud stair that are kind of sculpted on the edge of the cloud itself, where the gatehouse is. At the top of the staircase is a door in the wall of the gatehouse. So as you kind of get closer to it, there's like this kind of large kind of platformy area where the ship can actually set down, and Delphine kind of sets down on the cloud, and she says, "I'm still getting used to the idea that these are solid."
You'll get used to it.
Yeah.
Can you go through them?
What?
I wouldn't get everybody to jump up and down on the ship at the same time.
Let's see. I
Good
think maybe
idea. She says, "I suppose we shall wait for you here, but..." And she kind of like looks at you for a second, and she's like, "I wish you luck."
We'll be back.
Josephine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll be back.
You guys notice that when you guys land, as you guys have kind of gotten closer, the cries of the dragon have stopped.
Okay.
Hopefully they're already aware that we're coming. You don't want to take anybody by surprise.
Right.
Alright, let's head out. Come on, Sticks.
Do we have minis
You
for
should
everybody?
go with us. I think they might be... Oh, those are straws.
These are all straws.
Me and my wizard boy.
Oh, you need a new one. Is she coming with you?
Yes.
All right. Let's see, who are we gonna use?
Up to you.
For Zalfina.
That was the first time you met him, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who?
Strahd.
Oh
Just
yeah.
like the Strahd mini.
Here, you know what? We'll just keep it. Keep it standard.
Cool.
Fucking Strahd. The arch pimp. I still can't.
It's
Fantastic. So good. As you guys actually do disembark, there is a cloud giant kind of waiting for you, kind of peering over. He like opens the gate, and you see him standing there. He wears a very fine purple cloak. He has shining golden bracers on his arm that you see inscribed with some kind of writing. You see he does not wear a mask. And he says, "Hello, welcome to Linar Mall. May I ask your purpose here?"
Tell me, Sir Giant, the castle of Countess Sansuri.
Indeed it is. It is interesting that such puny folk as yourself would indeed know of her greatness.
Well,
the Countess.
we are sky travelers and friends of cloud giants. We're here to request an audience with the Countess.
As it is, she has spied your arrival and is quite interested to see who would deign to come visit her. Please, follow me. And he kind of turns, and when he does, you see he flashes out the cape, and it goes out wide behind him. You see he's wearing really fine clothes. And he leads you guys.
Is he wearing armor or just fine clothes?
He seems to be wearing really fine clothing.
Okay.
Himself. Nothing other than the bracers. As you guys walk in, you guys notice that it's a very huge structure. The bridge itself it's about 200 feet long to get to cross, and right near the sides of the bridge leading from this kind of gatehouse area, where you see there are two stairs as you go through that kind of go into these kind of gatehouses on either side, kind of behind you as you kind of walk. And as you get closer, you see that there are these two gusts of whirling wind, which have the imprints of eyes.
Oh shit, do I know anything about what those might be?
Make an Arcana check.
Elementals? 8.
There
we go, I rolled a 2, y'all.
Maybe some kind of elemental.
Makes sense to me.
But when you, they don't seem to do anything as you guys walk past. As you guys go, the Cloud Giant says, "I am Cresserio, the Castellan here. I serve Countess Sansuri to the best of my abilities."
I've heard tell that the Countess is the rightful ruler of all cloud giants.
He says, "No, as of right now she is not. However, if she is successful in her endeavors, she may be the leader of all giants. Now please, let us continue." As you kind of go, he leads you, he pushes over another large doorway into what seems to be a long hallway made of fine polished wood. You notice there's doors on either side of you as you walk in, other more huge doors. There's 4 sets of doors in this hallway, but he leads you down a large wooden stair that goes straight down. It goes down that way. I'm straight down. Doesn't make sense. It is a little bit difficult for you. You have to move at half speed going down these stairs as they are so large. And he leads you out into a big courtyard. On this courtyard, you can see that up above, there's this kind of battlement where 2 cloud giants stand. You notice there are 2 telescopes on these battlements here. And on this kind of floor where you are, there are puddles of water, and it's now made of stone on the floor here. And you kind of look to your right and left, There's 2 more staircases that seem to go like spiraling up on either side of where you've come in. You also notice there are 3 large ballista that kind of point outwards through these slits in the wall. Yeah, you guys pass through a 30-foot high curtain wall with where there's an overhanging rampart. It's a stone-tiled courtyard, and there are definitely some puddles of water. He then turns to his right and leads you past a stairwell that goes up and curves to the left to a doorway, which he pushes open. He turns to the right and leads you farther down a corridor. Here the stone floors are made of tightly fitted stone. And the doors are all carved of ornate wood, and they seem to have these metal handles with doorknobs that he uses to kind of push open the door. He then leads you further down this hall. You guys pass 2 doors, one almost immediately to your left, and as you guys kind of turn right down the hallway further, there's another doorway. And he leads you to this very open area. And in it, you see that there is a throne where a woman sits, a cloud giantess, wearing a mask that has a frowning face upon it. You see there are tears made of gemstones on it. Inside this opulent hall features lapis lazuli tile work and murals depicting castles in the clouds, as well as cloud giants chasing silver dragons while riding rocks, and golden sky chariots drawn by griffins. Marble bleachers hug the walls near the entrance, across from which stands an ornate alabaster throne inlaid with gemstones. Guarding the throne on either side are 2 life-size statues of cloud giants, one male and one female, standing at attention, wearing tall helmets with feather plumage and clutching spears tipped with a shining type of metal. One you've seen before, mithril. Set into the floor in front of the throne room is a 10-foot diameter circular hole surrounded by decorative tiles of gold marble, white alabaster, and blue lapis lazuli. Standing at attention with their backs to the hole are 4 aarakocra that are completely blue, with their feathers. They have silver beaks, and they all seem to have spears and be wearing leather armor of some kind on their chest. Their wings are, to them, they're not spread out, but they stand at attention surrounding this hole in the floor that you can see there is cloud below it. But it's farther below. Seems to be a sky hole. Sitting in the throne is the gray-skinned woman. She has gold bands that seem to be wrapped around her arms, and she's wearing some kind of dress, and she has like one kind of offshoot from her left shoulder that's kind of spiked. She has cloud-like hair that is white that kind of comes up and coils down around her face and her neck, and swoops around her back. The mask she holds with her hand in front of her face, and she moves it away slightly when she speaks. And she says, "Hello, little folk. Welcome to my castle, Linarmal. I am Countess Sansuri, and who may you be?"
Greeting, Countess. but a group of sky travelers, friends of cloud giants.
Ah, indeed. Travelers among the clouds. It truly is a wonderful place to be, is it not? It has been some time since I have flown this low. Mostly we spend time much higher up.
The other of your kind that I've met with have said much of the same. It seems to be a new era for giants.
Indeed. You can say that it is. Look, I just had a water bottle. It's over here. What brings you to my castle? You notice that Crisario has like turned and he is now sitting on some of those marble bleachers at the back of the hall.
We have heard much about you from others of your kind, and we were hoping to meet you and speak with you about your exploits.
Yes. I have been conducting extensive surveys to update my maps of the land below. They are quite outdated. It is harder to find my way around the topography than I would like, she says.
Yes, it's very interesting how the face of the world changes over time.
Yes, I've been spying on the world below from my many telescopes. Unable to find what I thought was here. But it matters not. Who have you spoken to about me? For I still do not believe I have your names.
I am Kintal. I am the leader of our group of traders. We travel through the sky to trade our goods. It's much easier and safer than going upon the land.
And I am Perkunas.
I see. And you?
Don't make us die.
Huh? Yeah. I'm Val. I'm just a adventuring servant.
And these other few just work for me.
So it seems at least you two are of station.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
The three of you can notice that she's kind of like tapping her foot, a little bit.
We've heard that you seek to remove the cruel King Blagthicus from his undeserved throne.
There you go.
Get into it.
And she kind of puts her mask like more in front of her face, and she says, "Indeed, I would. But such things are not so easy. And the tongues of my followers exceed my exploits. I am far busier with other things." So you are traders, you've come here to trade.
We recently sold all of the small folk alcohol that we tend to trade in. Even with a full haul, I'm afraid we would have enough. We would not have enough to satisfy
A giant's
a
thirst.
giant's great thirst.
Yes. I don't often partake of such spirits. You notice that her tapping foot kind of increases a little bit more.
Do we have a map?
Yeah, we got a map.
Gee, I like to see that.
Are we trying to achieve your...
I don't know.
Although...
I do.
Okay.
We do have a map. Val grabbed one a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how big of a map it was.
It was a pretty big... It says big map. That's how it was.
It was the map that was from the Zentarum hideout underneath Loudwater.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, that was a kind of large map of like the kind of Sword Coast, like this whole
the
northern
region.
area, kind of like to the Honorok Desert, and kind of like covers a lot of the area.
If you're looking to get a better idea of the land below, I do have a map that could be of help, crafted by some of my kind. We humans of shorter lifespan are very good about chronicling things.
I take the map out.
And she says, "Jaka, get that for me." And one of the Aarakocra kind of like turns away from the its position at attention and like walks over to you, and it grabs the map.
Yep. I like put my head down, present it to
It
it.
kind of like sheathes its spear at kind of a loop on its waist, and it grabs it and it flies up towards her on her throne.
While she examines it, I'm gonna like keep asking her questions while she's kind of distracted.
Okay.
Do you know where the cruel king Blagpicus is at this moment? I understand that cloud giants move around as much as they can.
Make a persuasion roll.
Close to our nest.
9.
Last I heard was some years ago he got himself involved with some undesirables above the Grey Peak Mountains. It's been some time. Several years, truly. But he was commiserating with a white dragon. I do not know what befell of his keep. It should be somewhere there, either floating or not. And she's kind of like looking over the map.
We are searching for him to bring him a message. Are you aware of the fate of Blagpicus' son?
No, unfortunately I've had little time to spend worrying about him in truth.
Would it mean something to you to learn that Blagpicus murdered his son in cold blood?
She has like the map like in one hand, and she has the mask covering her face. And she says, like, you see that her foot has like started to tap like a little bit faster now. And she says, "I'm not sure. Have you come across anything giant in your travels? Anything from my race in a time before? This map seems woefully not what I need."
As a matter of fact, we had, but we met a group of traveling cloud giants that claimed they worked for you. We turned what we had over to them.
Well then, I assume that they will come to me soon. Jaka, return this to them.
Cool.
And he, the bird is like, kind of flies back up and grabs it, and he returns the map to you.
Cool. I take it. I bow to the bird. It's a very fancy bird. Yes.
So, you have nothing to trade, even though you are traders.
Nothing that would interest royalty, I'm afraid.
A shame.
What do you seek in case we do come across something specifically?
Historian waymarkers.
What do these look like?
It would be hard to describe for one as puny as yourself. I do not know if your minds could truly comprehend it.
Fair enough.
Probably not.
Great Countess. Is it a material thing? A giant stone, perhaps? I'm not familiar with the time before.
Make a persuasion roll with disadvantage.
Not bad.
That is a 17.
17. These waymarkers were designations, signs of places. I search for treasures of old.
Okay. Why, thank you.
Indeed, Perkunas.
I think she likes you.
Okay. Alright, I think we're good.
Okay.
Kental,
Is there
did you have
anything
anything else
you
for the
need?
Countess?
Whom did you speak to learn about my ambitions?
Let's see if I can recall his name.
Nerva and Gerald were the ones we met in Seacomber.
Oh, yeah. They were, forthcoming to the small folk.
I see.
Is this a problem?
No,
We don't wish to cause quarrel.
Yeah.
of course, she says from behind her mask. Of course. Her foot stops tapping, and she says, if you have no further business, I have things I must attend to.
Of course. It was a pleasure.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah, we bow.
back away.
I'm gonna keep.
And she says,
Keep out.
Yeah, I can't keep bowing.
Kurasaro, show them out. We wouldn't want them to be tossed from the bridge by those elementals.
By the way, what exactly are those? Quite interesting.
She says, Crusario, if you please.
None of your fucking business.
And
Alright.
Crusario says, come please, we must not waste more of the Countess's time.
Certainly.
She is a very busy woman.
Understandable.
Go for it.
As we get further away, I'm going to ask Casario the same thing.
Make a persuasion roll.
Oh. 13.
says, they are air elementals, bound to this place.
Interesting.
Indeed. If I were not with you, it could be very dangerous. As he kind of like walks you down the rest of the hall.
I have a question. Other kinds of giants have this miraculous ability to scoop up pieces of the earth. Ice giants throw big boulders of frost, and fire giants throw boulders of flames. What do you throw?
Well, it depends on what some of us have in our sack. As you kind of like go further up, make a perception check as you go back out into the courtyard.
Oh my god. I'll
Can
roll
I as
another
well?
2.
Yeah, you can roll perception check.
16.
You notice there's actually up on like the higher like wall of that kind of like the aft battery you're in. There's that kind of like upper area. You notice there's like a pile of rocks literally like up on there that they can reach to throw.
Oh. I kind of nudge you. I'm just...
Does the Countess ever attack human settlements, keeps on the ground, things like that?
Only if they have not paid their tithe, but it has been some years. And he kind of like looks at you. You notice he seems like kind of like looking at you, like almost scowling a little bit, like a question to ask. And he kind of opens the door that he leads you back up the stairs. These through that large curtain. And you guys are back in this kind of like long, ornate wooden floored hallway. Val, for a second, you think you hear children laughing.
Okay. Human children, I'm assuming? I don't know.
It's just the sound of laughter,
Just like,
of children's voices coming from above you.
okay. I ask human because I just imagine giants just sound more guttural and like deeper, even as children, I would imagine, than like human.
And what does the Countess do with the dragons that she captures?
That is none of your concern, he says. And he opens the doorway leading out to the bridge. And you guys kind of make your way.
Alright.
Cool.
Dope.
And walks you down the rest of the large stone bridge back to the gatehouse, past the swirling elementals.
Cool.
They don't seem to react to your presence as you go by. And he says, "Farewell."
Farewell.
Thank you, good Casario.
What if he didn't?
Yes.
Are you a man of drink?
No.
Oh.
Alright.
And boom! The large door shuts behind you.
Well,
They were much
Was
less
it-
friendly than the last ones, it
What-
sounds like.
was that productive? Were we productive?
Sure.
Okay.
She will recognize us if it comes across again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing bad happened.
Cool, we're gonna get on the ship and leave.
Yeah.
Alright, as
Let's
you
go.
guys start getting on the ship again, you hear a loud cry of a dragon.
Cool.
Okay,
I asked Delphine if dragons sound different by color.
They sound different by dragon. I've never heard one sing before, she says.
I don't know. Do I want to
But you
turn
can't tell what kind of dragon that is?
Me? No. Maybe another dragon.
I have a question. If I look around this castle, if I look from here, Are they like birds flying around? Because we're in the sky, so.
Yeah.
Birds perched.
There are like some birds that are kind of flying around, but none like around this in particular. Like you cast a glance out, like you might see a flock of birds flying by, but you don't see any birds that are really flying around. As you kind of look up towards the top things, make a perception check for me. You notice that there are several blue Aarakocra standing on the topmost of the three kind of pillars, like the three castle parts that kind of are up there. You notice there are some, like one looking outward, and you see there's like another one looking outward on the far side. And there's like a small tower as well that kind of blocks your view of the rest of it. It's kind of hard as well looking up, but you do notice there's like one looking outside of these crenellians that are there.
Okay.
Crenellations. Whatever the fuck these little
Yeah.
things are.
I mean,
How many times can you pass polymorph in a day?
twice.
You and one other person can sneak in, and then you and that person could sneak out if you turn into an animal and polymorph them into an animal.
Yeah, and if. Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. We could.
I just hate the idea that that could be a friend or a potential ally.
Yeah.
It could be nice to at least find out, even if we can't do anything about it. Sneaking around there would be extremely dangerous.
Delphine says, if we plan on coming back, I could try and use some nearby clouds as cover.
Duck into the cover and then send us out, and then if we need to return, you guys can just hang out in the cover.
Do you think it would be a problem if we just waited here?
It might be if it takes us a long time. We might get hassled by.
Delphine says, well, if we stay here, I mean, there doesn't seem to be anyone watching the gates.
And we can pretend to be doing some quick repairs. I'm sure they wouldn't mind as long as we don't approach the gates.
You should ask them if we could do repairs.
We should just do it.
Yeah,
and
just
if they bother
ask
us,
forgiveness,
just tell
not
them what
permission.
exactly.
Yeah.
Alright,
I mean,
who wants to go?
I mean, if you tell them we're repairing the ship, we aren't
I
fucking
think you're way
lying.
sneakier than I am, Perkunas.
Probably.
I think you're 2 points sneakier than I am at least.
Of course,
Fair
my
enough.
bestiary isn't wanting to work. Hang on a second. This app.
Bestiary.
It was so good. Now it's like not great.
I actually changed. I went to some.
Is there another app?
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to slow us down or anything.
Companions.
Companions?
You're good.
Yeah, it's specific to wild shape and polymorph.
That's what it's called when you cast friends at a higher level.
Companion? Wait, do you have an iPhone?
You cast a 9th level friends, it's BFFs.
Oh my god. 9th level friends.
It's companions, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
They'll even be there for you when the rain starts to fall.
There you go.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Let you guys,
Find us,
yeah, think about some stuff.
So no one told you life was gonna be this way.
I mean, if you just stayed in animal form, it wouldn't. Stealth wouldn't matter too much.
That as well.
What's the app? What's it look like?
There's an air elemental.
There's an air elemental?
Yeah. Boop.
I was just thinking in case you
That's
needed
that's
to.
the cover photo.
That's the cover photo of the
Yeah.
app?
Yeah.
Okay,
Try 5e companions.
that might be better.
I really like it. You can specify movement and CR.
Yeah, there it is. Oh, you can do you can do movement too?
Yeah. When you get back to the ship, Zalthi is like, I much prefer dragons to giants. I see why they've warred for centuries and millennia.
Okay.
I'm definitely more scared. Well, I can't actually say that after our last encounter.
So we need to turn into something pretty small, pretty unnoticeable. I would hope. So I'm trying to find something that might give us an advantage on like stealth or something, or
Can we
something.
turn into blue air cobras?
I don't think so.
They are not beasts.
Oh, right, they're
Monstrosities or something, or what are they? They're something.
There's something.
There's something.
Yeah, I don't think a giant would ever see a bug.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I think owls are good for stealth.
That would be good too.
Yeah. And
Or a
owls
bug.
get flyby. Hang on. Let me figure out how to use this.
You're good. Sorry. I'm doing this here.
Movement, fly, size, tiny. Okay. Yeah.
They're humanoids. They're a cocra.
Oh, okay. I pictured something completely. I pictured like a cockatrice or something. I don't know why.
You know, they're bird people. These ones are just all blue.
Yeah, owls have +3 stealth.
Do they? Okay.
Those doors looked really heavy.
Oh, they do get +3 spell. Look at that. Okay. Well, if I look around, there's windows up there, right? I imagine these windows have to be pretty big for being giant-sized, so...
There are some windows, but they all have glass covering them.
Okay.
You did see several places where ballistae can shoot out of, and
Yeah.
probably you guys as medium things or smaller things could maybe squeeze in there.
We'd be tiny as owls.
And you could probably squeeze through there.
Alright.
Want to be an owl?
You guys also haven't done a good search around the outside of
I'm trying not to
it yet.
provoke
You guys,
any
yeah.
curiosity, so I'm thinking maybe as owls, since we get a bonus to our perception anyways, we could check some of the area.
Yeah.
Um,
White owls.
Yeah.
Blend in a little bit.
There you go.
Snow owl.
yeah, snow owls.
You
Okay.
guys are kind of deciding this. You guys hear more cries of a dragon.
Okay. I will polymorph him into a tiny little snow owl,
Alright.
and then I will wild shape into a tiny little snow owl.
Alright, both of you are owls.
Oh god,
One
I'm
hit
so
point.
happy. 1 hit point?
Yes.
Oh, bitch.
Is it 1?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 1.
Oh, yeah, AC was 11. Sweet.
1 hit point. 1 hit point.
Don't run into any owl exterminators.
We're owl exterminators.
Then you wouldn't mind exterminating this owl.
Alright.
So yeah,
So
we
we'll-
will fly together around
Yeah,
first.
we're gonna
I think.
check the perimeter of the
Okay.
area.
You guys gonna go up and go up high?
Away from what appear to be the lookouts.
What I
but-
want to do is I want to polymorph at the edge of the ship, jump off the edge, and fly under and back over, because I don't want them to see us directly coming off the ship.
Okay. Easy enough.
So just
To do.
down and over. is what I'm looking
Roll
for
me
here.
some stealth checks.
Yeah, buddy. What is stealth relying on?
You would use the
Dex.
owl stats.
Yeah, I know.
It's dexterity. But they have a +3 to stealth.
And then they have +1 for their base dex, so it's +4 total.
No, they have a +3. I'm literally looking at the owl
It's
stat.
whatever it says
Yeah.
underneath there.
It's 13
It
dex
takes
plus
in-
1, then +3.
It's plus
It's
their
proficiency.
proficiency.
So do you
Oh!
So their stealth skill is dex plus
Yeah.
their proficiency.
Okay.
Whatever it says underneath there.
14.
13.
Alright.
Because they probably also have a better perception skill.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, as you guys fly underneath this cloud in the middle of the afternoon, you guys come back around.
Oh, it smells terrible.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's not that bad, and I don't even like cheese. You guys kind of come back around on this side here and fly up. You see there are two giants kind of up here that are kind of talking to one another. Do you want to fly up or around to the right side or left side?
Can we like hover right under the wall and hear what they're saying?
You might hear us
I
flapping.
mean,
It's
there's
windy.
no ledges. Do I see any ledges to
Owls
perch
don't
on?
make noise when they fly. It's like
Oh yeah, I guess you're right. They're perfectly silent.
Yeah.
they're speaking in giant.
I
Yeah,
can't
that will
cast
help us.
anything. Okay.
No, you
Yeah.
cannot. For all intents and purposes, you're an owl.
You're just an owl.
Right.
You're a little owl.
You're like, ooh, I am an owl. Ooh, I am an actual owl. Because I am polymorphed into this creature with all of my mental stats.
Oh right, mental stats change for me too. Huh?
Yeah, so you're really dumb. You're
Yeah,
like,
you're
I wonder if there's some mice somewhere.
Yeah, just a
Oh,
little
okay.
fun now.
Well, never mind. I'm following you.
Yeah, you're following me.
Like, you were able to, like, you know, kind of do some stuff, but at the same time, you're also like,
you still know you're Perkunas,
but you're also
But deep
Means
down-
nothing.
you also have 2 intelligence.
Yeah. Deep down,
Well,
you're definitely an owl.
I'm used to being smarter things.
Life is so much simpler now.
Yeah, so they're talking of giants.
Giants.
You see there's like a kind of large, like kind of vine that seems to have grown down from the tallest tower.
Okay. We're gonna try to blend in with the backdrop of the clouds and swoop up and around.
All right. So as you kind of go up, you see there's
wide berth here.
yeah. You see there's grass on tops of all 3 of these towers that are there. You see that on the 2 lower ones, the one on the right side has a glass dome and what appears to be roll perception. Actually, from this angle.
I keep my mental stats.
Yes.
So. Do I still get? Yeah, I still get the bonus.
You
to
get
it, too.
keen senses if it has
Yeah.
keen sight or whatever.
Okay, so that's 18, 19, 20, 21.
So you see this large
And then
checkered
way higher than that.
board of black and white with what seems like suits of armor at the ready. On one, on the right side, there's also a large pile of stones that you see like kind of near that as well, near the wall, where there's also a couple of like telescopes. And you see there's also this large glass dome on the right side. You notice that there is a giant that is kind of going around with pruning shears and like clipping some hedges that are on this side.
So we've seen 4 separate giants so far. We've seen the 2 in the balcony, the guy that escorted us to and from, this guy with the clippings, and then we saw obviously
The countess, yeah.
Okay, so 5.
Yeah, on the other side, like, because there's 2 like this and there's one above. So there's like one here that you just looked at on your right side.
Yeah.
That was over here.
Okay.
And on the left side, you see there is another really beautiful garden. It has a lush green lawn dotted with trees and piles of rocks, probably that a cloud giant could use to make ranged attacks. You see there are 6 Aarakocra perched atop these battlements. Half of them face outward and half of them face inward. You also notice there are 3 telescopes along this side with more rocks. Fountain with a spout shaped like a silver dragon, bound in chains, feeds water into a 40-foot diameter pool near the western wall. The water from the spout seems to be collected from the base as more water keeps coming out. There are some fruit trees you see, as well as a pumpkin patch that dominates one large area. The pumpkins look ginormous.
Okay,
And on the top, on the high lawn, you see there is a large dome that is made of blue tiles. There are some trees. You also notice there are 6 more Aarakocra here that are, some are facing outwards, some are facing inwards, and there's also this kind of tower that's perched on the top. So like this is what you see, but there's some Aarakocra up here as well. There's also near that staircase, because there's a staircase on the other side of this that leads down. And you see there's a large pile of rocks next to that staircase as well.
can I tell exactly where the screams or what the dragon sounds are coming from?
Yes, farther below, kind of below, where you see this. It's coming from this side.
Okay, there's a window down there, right?
There was actually, but you said you flew up, so I was like.
Okay, just wanted to get an idea of the area first. Okay.
Yeah, those seem to be pretty large openings, more than windows.
Gotcha. I will double back down that direction towards the opening.
All right.
And I will get closer to it and have a peek.
All right. As you look in, you see. Make a perception check for me.
Can I go too?
Yeah.
28.
Not that I need to.
Yeah. You get 2 rolls.
That's good. Get that out of my system.
Yep.
Get it all out.
Oh, wrong thing.
It's cool. She saw everything.
It's like the SpongeBob meme you showed me. Shows this dude's pupils like burning. It's when you crit a perception check.
When you go to look in here, are you getting like close to the window and like perching on it, or kind of trying to like fly outside it?
I'm gonna. I want to see if I can come from way like here's the wall way over here, and I just want to see if I can swoop down, come towards it, and then go back up. I don't want to stay in the line of the side of it. For
Okay,
a long
yeah.
period
So
of
in your
time.
quick glance, you notice that
I just want to make sure it's clear before I try to perch.
you notice that there are some cages inside there. You were able to count 5 in your quick kind of like search. It appears that there were griffins inside each cage.
Okay.
And that these kind of openings in the wall are definitely big enough for a griffin to fly out of.
Okay. They're all in cages. Okay.
Yeah. And they seem to be kind of pecking and scratching at their cages, and the floor around them is littered with broken bits of wood.
Okay.
And then you kind of fly by and you notice that. But other than that, there didn't seem to be anybody else in there. You did notice that there was a door at the far end of the room.
Okay. I will perch on the ledge, and I have to pee. So.
Okay. You gonna follow her?
Yep.
Alright.
Okay. Yeah. So I go ahead and perch. And after I'll meet you both perch.
When you guys land, the 2 nearest griffins, because there's 2 cages, kind of like close to it, and they kind of like turn and see you, and they start like scratching at their cages, but you notice they can't get through the cage at all.
Okay.
But 2 of them definitely noticed you were there.
Okay. Take a better look around from this viewpoint. Is anything changed, or is it about the same?
You see that, as you kind of get in there, there's one door on the, let's see, what is the orientation here I'm looking at here? On the north wall, which you know leads to like the main keep, there's a large door, and on the eastern wall, there's a large double door. You see that there are lots of scattered bits of wood, and there is a simple clasp mechanism outside the cages that seems to like unlock them, like 10 feet above the floor. You also notice there's a few barrels and crates stashed in one corner of the room,
Okay.
like going along the wall to your left.
If I try to fly high in here, how tall is the room? Imagine pretty tall, fairly tall.
Do we still hear dragon screams?
The ceilings are about 40 feet high,
Okay.
and the floor in this room is made of fitted stone.
Okay. Yeah, the dragons.
Yeah, you hear another loud cry coming from it. Like kind of reverberates through this room. It seems to come from those double doors.
Okay. Yeah. If I fly high,
Mm-hmm.
I want to try to stay out of the reach of anything that could be reaching out of its cage.
You notice that they're not able to reach
They
outside
aren't
the
able
cage.
to reach out of it
No.
at all. Okay, just want to make sure, just double checking. Last thing I needed to get is fucking bapped. So, yeah, I'll fly up. Is there any sort of fixtures up high? Any sconces on the wall maybe that aren't lit?
There is
Any chandeliers?
one sconce. You see that light comes through, like where the giant two like windows were for griffins to fly out of. There's a large golden sconce near the other door, like that doesn't lead to this. It's not the double door, but there's like a single door. And there's a large golden sconce that's like blazing with light, like fire.
Okay.
There's also, I want to say, a couple of windows. No, not to this room.
No chairs, no tables.
Nope. There's a couple of crates
Crates.
and barrels in one corner of the room, actually pretty close to that sconce.
Okay. We will fly in and perch on the crates and barrels.
Okay. They're in the far corner of the room, kind of away from the double doors.
Okay. Just because I want to get a full spectrum of this room, so.
Yeah, it's rounded.
Okay.
And there's like a wall here.
How wide is the room again? I'm sorry. It's like the circumference, or not circumference, diameter.
It's a little weird. I would say it's maybe like 100 to 120 feet across at its widest, because it's kind of like circular and bows out.
Okay.
So it's like a quarter circle room?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I just don't have enough paper with me today.
Look at your
Emma.
I did, yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. Hang on a second. Is there anything around these barrels, but like anything to indicate like what might be inside of them? Any like gunpowder or dirt or just anything?
This is not to scale.
That's fine.
I should have drawn this not where it is, but that's fine. So, like, this is the room. These are the cages. There's a pillar here and a pillar here. This is a double door. This is the doorway.
And
These are the crates, and that's where the lamp thing is.
Okay. I want to go over to the double doors and see if I can see under the door. See if there's like a crack or something, or a crack in the door, or...
1 second.
You're fine. Take your time.
Did you want to try and see what was inside the crates at all?
Is there nothing around the floor for him?
Not really.
Not really. Can I determine if these would be easy to open as an owl? Like, does it have a top that just lifts off, or is it like I have to pry it open?
You might be able
Peck
to
at
try
it.
and like maybe peck a hole. Sorry, I need to respond to.
You're fine.
She's like, I'm trying to remember if I left something at home or not, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's at home. You didn't leave it at school.
Yeah.
Lizzie was like, I can't remember.
Yeah, I'll poke around at it, see if
All right, make an attack roll. You want to help her? You see her pecking through
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
You can roll a perception check, actually.
Hell yeah, I will. That's a 21.
You smell meat.
Oh.
You gonna try and peck through it?
Yeah,
All right.
See it.
for sure.
11 for my hit.
11.
Yeah.
10 for mine.
Nice plus.
It's you try to start
Just
getting at it to no avail. You can't get through it, but it smells like there's some kind of meat in
we
here.
got tiny little beaks. So
Yeah, and these are pretty big crates, and you guys are like pecking at it. No avail.
Nope. Okay.
You two would probably smell there's meat
Yeah,
inside.
we just assume there's meat inside.
Sounds good. Probably
They're
food
probably
for the
griffin treats
Yeah.
of some sort, yeah.
Something, yeah. As long as it's not me. Okay. Yeah, I'll go check out the door then and look around it, see if there's any cracks, any holes, any
Yeah, 1 second.
underneath it.
Need to find the thing on the doors.
Cool.
Being sneaky little owls.
It's not a big enough kind of thing for you to like crawl under in your current form.
Yeah.
Because
I
it's
can't
a
see under
really,
it?
it's a really like small, like it's a very immaculate craftsmanship here. You get
Yeah.
the feeling because it's probably pretty drafty up in the clouds. They don't
Probably.
like to have the doors have too many cracks and
Gotcha.
such in them. But it is a double door for this one. And you hear another tremendous cry out. You hear. Make a perception check for me. As you're by the door.
You roll twice. Cool.
I got a 17.
29.
So you hear her ask.
No, I don't.
Another.
She's speaking giant, isn't she?
She's not.
She's not.
She's
Okay.
speaking common.
Okay. I try
Um,
to be helpful. Try not to make
she
it.
says, I know you're young, but that just means there are so many more soft points where I can inflict the maximum amount of pain. And you hear another roar of pain. And you hear a muffled voice. And it says, I swear, I don't know what you're looking for. I swear. It's a voice you've heard before. A voice that's carried you from place to place. It is the voice of Felgalos. It sounds muffled.
Good thing we didn't leave.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Okay. I know for sure it's that
It's
one.
kind of like broken up, but with a roll of 29, you can determine
Yeah, bitch.
that it is Felgalos' voice.
Okay.
And he says, I don't know where any of this is. I don't know what you're talking about. And it's kind of like broken up. It sounds like there's something kind of muzzling him, maybe. And she says, I just don't think you want to talk. I don't think you want to say anything to me. And you hear another cry
Okay.
of pain.
Time out for a second. I could figure out what the fuck to do. Not a lot I can do right now. Or you, really. I mean, yeah. I'm gonna be like, stay here. Stay here.
Stay here.
Stay here.
Okay.
Owls don't have a.
Owls don't have.
They do. They go, whoo.
They don't,
Hold on a
you can only
second.
ask who.
Yeah, I don't know about all.
I don't think
Let
you
me-
I'm gonna follow her anyway.
Yeah, okay.
He's
It doesn't
a
matter.
fucking bird.
I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know if you would able. I don't think with the
owls
intelligence.
can't speak.
And then
owl.
Yeah, I
I'm gonna
guess.
tell
Yeah,
my
they don't
head
speak
really
owl.
far.
Some
Language.
animals speak a language.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it'll be like they speak cat or something,
Yeah.
but like it's not an owl. No.
Yeah, owls have no language.
They speak food and survival.
They speak food and survival.
And
They,
vomit up the bone.
yep, in a nice bowl.
Okay,
You started leaving
You-
fucking owl pellets around the place.
okay,
On my way out, I shit on a griffin.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah?
yeah,
No.
I fucking...
I mean, you could.
No.
I will,
Roll a shit check.
I fly to the windowsill, and I want to check the outside to make sure there's nothing out there, because I'm not just going to fly out all willy-nilly.
Oh, yeah.
I'm assuming
There's
it's
not
fine.
that much out
Okay,
there.
I just want to, like, triple check. And then
Yeah,
I...
your head spins all the way
yeah,
around.
I do a full circle. And then I swoop down. I want to go down real low, and then I want to go up, or, like, under
Mhm.
this thing, and return back to the ship.
Easy enough.
Thank you.
Fly below. Perkunas follows you. Oh, hey, this is the beginning of my dungeon on the other side of this. Yeah.
Okay. I want to hit that deck, and I want to shape back. Not you. Don't let you shape back, because...
Yeah, it's probably been about like 20, 25 minutes.
Okay, you're still now. I shape back, and is Kental on deck?
Yes.
What are you doing?
Thalgalos is being tortured.
Well,
That's who's crying.
that's the worst news that I've heard
Ever.
since this whole Harshnag died.
5 days ago.
5 days ago, yeah.
Wow, this is a bad week.
Yeah.
Our giant friend and our dragon friend.
Yeah, there's bad shit going on. Yeah, we have to, oh shit, what did she say? She said that she was trying to, what was she trying to get out of him? Oh shit. Sorry, I forgot all of what she said. I was
It's
just,
not particularly important.
yeah, all that's
We
important.
do
is that
need
he's
to
up
get
there.
him out of there.
Yeah,
For all we know, she's just trying to find more stuff from Osteria.
she's torturing him though, that's for sure. So, how do we go about this situation? I give him exact directions to which window we went into, to the surrounding area. I tell him about all the perches, the Arakochrane, the giants and stuff. I give him exacts, and what should we do?
Nice, yeah. So overall, I think you saw about 32 suits of armor, because you rolled really high, 12 Aarakocra, and 3 other giants that you had not seen. Well, 3 giants, including the ones you'd seen before on there, but 1 additional one.
Yeah,
Was she torturing it?
I believe so. She talked about his soft spots, and then suddenly,
Yeah, that
So
was her
bad.
voice.
huh?
That was her voice.
I believe so, right? Yeah.
You just heard her speak not that long ago. You're pretty sure it was her.
Pretty sure it was her. If I can identify Thalgalos' voice, I'm assuming I
Yeah.
can identify hers.
Yeah, the 29.
Yeah.
I just wasn't certain.
Keen hearing, right,
Yeah.
too?
Yep. Oh no.
Well,
Oh, okay, it's fine.
yes.
Yeah, hearing and sight, yeah.
Such jovial music. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that's gonna change in a minute.
Yeah. So we gotta get up there and get him out of there because he sounds like he's in a lot
The
of
3
pain.
of us should go up there and try to find an opening.
How do I get you up there as inconspicuously as possible?
Also turn me into something.
I can't. I can only focus on one thing at a
Oh
time.
yeah, that's true.
Moss says, is there any way I can help, Master?
I have no idea.
What spells does he know?
Boy, not
Not a lot.
Like, burning hands.
Or
Identify.
There's no like magical item we have here.
Oops.
really nothing I can use. Oh fuck! I got insignia claws. That means my unarmed
Not enough.
strikes for my
Not
owl.
enough for that. The +1 was not enough.
Mending, prestidigitation, firebolt, burning hands, disguise self. He does know that. Shield, identify, tensor's floating disc, and chromatic orb.
I mean, you can disguise yourself, but certainly can't.
He doesn't
make
know
yourself lighter.
Featherfall?
That would have been useful.
I thought someone cast that a while ago.
Nope. No feather falling. No feather falling.
She keeps saving us with birds.
Yeah,
That's
I
right.
just
Or
keep spawning
climbing kit.
birds. I mean, I could conjure birds and carry you guys, but that's gonna look really like bad.
Well,
If they see us, we can drop.
we might be able to drop in from above.
Well, I can't say too much.
Yeah, you are an owl
You're an
currently.
owl. I mean, if you flutter hard enough, I'll undo it, but that's a waste of a polymorph. It's gotta be good.
I mean, I don't know if it was a waste, because like if you got found out, you'd have someone there to help you.
Exactly.
So I don't know if it was a waste of a polymorph.
What? Perkunas, not if you have something to say.
Bird
shrug.
I'm gonna.
They've got no neck. Like,
I'm not smart. Never mind. I'm not going
You have a decent wisdom though. Like you have enough like common sense.
to. Okay.
But like to
You're not
make
a
like
dumb
really big like, you can still do stuff.
Okay. I'm just gonna like. I'm on the railing at the moment. I'm gonna dive like under the castle and then just kind of float down there, and hopefully you get the idea.
We could go from underneath, but
is there an opening? There was a hole.
there
in
was
that
a
room.
hole into her throne room,
I say.
which
And I come back up.
Yeah, I say Perkunas, is there a hole down there?
I'll go check.
there was a hole into the throne room.
Indeed, you fly towards the
Yeah,
center
I have
of
promotion
the.
hands.
Like you see that there is indeed a hole. That is there.
Cool.
She doesn't. She
Do you want to fly like closer up to it?
Mhm.
You fly close up to it.
Sounds
Make a
gonna
perception
fucking
check.
just Eat you. Like, perception.
You have advantage because you're an owl.
Good.
Hey,
Oh!
23.
You notice that those 4 Aarakocra
Mhm.
are still standing there.
Okay. I'll go back.
Okay. Of course I don't know that. So, I
Think
say,
about-
is there danger, boy?
yes.
Great. That's
Birds were
fantastic.
standing there when we walked
Well, I guess he
in.
can't really understand me. I'm
They
sitting here
didn't
just talking
move
to
as
you.
we were leaving, so it's safe to assume that those birdmen could still be in there. She moved to the throne room when she knew that we were coming. We could create a distraction to get her there instead of where Felglas is.
That's a great idea. And then me and Perkunas can go back up there. You want to do a distraction? I don't know. You want to fire on the castle?
No, that's not really what I meant.
Do it.
You want to run back and be like, I forgot my bag. Like,
You're such an instigator.
I would,
Yeah.
if I
Every
could,
good
I
DM
would
should.
rather go.
That sounds like a great
with
idea.
you.
you want to go with me?
Yeah.
How are we gonna create a distraction? He's just over there bobbing his head like a bird. Yeah. How do we get you up there though? That's another problem.
Well, we could fly the ship above.
Yeah. I can always
We
like.
could go into a cloud above them, maybe, and then just drop rope.
I can wild shape. I have one more wild shape I'm gonna have to use regardless. I can turn into a giant eagle and I can just try to beeline it there as fast as I can and get you in there.
Again, if we
Mhm.
went from above, it might be.
If you take a short rest, you get both of them back.
So I?
Wild shape regens on short rest.
Yeah.
How long is a short rest?
At least an hour.
Yeah, then
But
we
shorter
lose
than
his
8 hours.
polymorph. Says take off.
You could cast it again.
One more time.
To
Okay.
maintain concentration on it at the end of. But the only thing we're down right now is your one wild shape
And one 4th level slot.
and one 4th level slot, but you're not going to get that back from
Obviously
short
not.
rest.
But that's what I'm saying. If we prolong what's going on right now, then it could still be in effect instead of waiting for me to get my wild shapes back and then him losing his polymorph and then you guys both being gross.
This is a tough one.
It
Here's
is.
what we can do. We can go from underneath, fight those guards, try to find our way through the palace from the other direction that we haven't been to yet, try to avoid all the cloud giants as we do it, and then go into the room with the dragon and wait for her to leave and go in and try to save Belgos.
We can also split the party. That's my idea. Is me and him could go back up there. You guys create a distraction either underneath it or whatever, and then maybe she'll leave, and that'll be enough time for me and him to get in there, free Thelgalos, get out, and then be able to help you.
He might be weak. It might be hard to move him. Who knows if he could.
I mean, that's all the more reason for me to go to try to heal him if I can, at least a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Moth says,
And I have my healing staff.
What is it, Styx?
I know Master Ishu has spoken about your magical skills before. There must be something at your disposal.
I can try. It'll be dangerous.
Can't you walk on walls, Master?
I can walk on walls and get up there, but there's flying guards, there's giants, and it may be more prudent to try and create a distraction to call their attention back to us.
All I know is that if this airship goes, if it has any kind of... while we're doing this airship needs to either be very, very high or very, very low.
Oh,
They
the
have
cultists are
ballistics.
currently doing repairs on the balloon.
Yeah. We
By
can
the
tell
way.
them to stop immediately and then hit higher ground, but we need to tell it to either be way too high or way too low because otherwise those ballistas are going to be able to hit the ship and possibly
Yeah, they're
trap
gonna
us
throw
up
rocks
here.
at 'em.
Yeah. And I think under is better.
I do too. Okay.
Are we splitting the party?
Yes, you two go up. I'll go in by myself.
You're not going to take Moth? What about the other, with the Vault Hunters? You could take them too.
Won't it be suspicious if I return with everybody but you two?
But they didn't come in with us last time.
Yeah, they
Vault
did.
Oh, they did?
Mhm.
Oh, never mind. Oh, yeah, they did, didn't they? Sorry.
Perkunas was like, this is my retinue.
Wouldn't it be just as suspicious if it's just you?
No.
You sure of that?
Yes.
Okay. Well, like I said, you have to create a distraction large enough so that she leaves
Yes.
where she is. Do you think you can do that?
Yes.
Okay. Then what do we do with the rest of the people? We leave them on the ship and tell them to man the ship, prepare the ballistas,
Yes.
and send them low, and you can
Low.
jump off of the
Out the hole in the middle.
hole. No, you can jump off the crow's nest because it's up high. If you guys are going low,
Oh, no. I'm going to walk up the stairs. I'm going to walk up to the gate.
oh, you're walking up the gate.
Yes.
Okay,
Let's
I thought you were
do
going
it.
to the hole. Okay,
Let's do
fuck it. Let's do it.
Alright.
Yeah, airship captain.
That was faint.
Captain.
Captain, my captain.
If you would bring her low underneath, there's a hole in the bottom. Try to put the balloon underneath that hole. expect trouble.
Trouble.
And we'll dive underneath like we did before and get
Yeah,
back
we're
to that
up and
window.
around
Cool.
from a completely different viewpoint, and we're gonna get up in that room as soon as possible because we're not gonna wait on you guys because we need to get him up there before anything happens to my polymorph.
Sticks, stay here. Don't talk to anybody except for Hector and Aurelius.
Okay, Master.
Doesn't like my
Something
new
I forgot
friends.
to mention before is that just inside the main gate, like to the actual castle, there were 2 Aarakocra.
Okay.
Outside.
Okay. Break.
Do we wait for your cue?
No, go.
Okay.
You wait for her to leave the room.
Okay.
And then hide. Go
Okay.
in there. Save him.
Okay.
Right. I leave the airship and I start going back towards the gate.
I wild shape back into an owl.
All right.
Take off.
All right. It's been about 35 minutes.
Okay.
Like total, it's been take you guys maybe like 10-15 minutes to come up with that plan.
Yep.
All right. You guys fly back below. You guys telling the airship to go somewhere?
Yeah. Below the castle. I told them to try and see if they can park underneath that hole. Put the balloon right underneath it.
All right. They're like.
And I told them to expect trouble.
Okay. Sounds like a plan, Delphine says. All right. Get to work, men. And they start kind of prepping the ship to take off. You disembark.
Delphine, wait until I go inside. And then move.
Okay.
So you're going back through the gates?
Yes.
With the air elemental?
Yes.
Oh boy.
He's got it. We're good.
Never mind.
Okay.
That'd be great.
He's just gonna get stuck outside the gates.
So you're gonna. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm going to head up towards the gate.
All right. You're at the gatehouse. There's a large door.
Am I?
You don't see anybody up there, like on the above it.
Boom, 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 boom.
You wait a minute or so. The balloon's starting to fill up with more air. You want to try and open it?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna go inside.
Okay. Make an athletics check for me.
15.
15. You.
16. Sorry, 16. You forgot how strong I was.
You kind of budge the door and you get it to kind of like break open, but you notice that it is kind of locked on the other side. And you kind of like open it a little bit, you see the air elementals on the other side, like you can kind of peek through. And you kind of do that. After probably a minute and a half, you see the Castellan returning. Kind of like,
Yeah.
he undoes the lock on the gate and he
Make
opens up
sure
and
he knows I'm trying to get his attention.
he says,
Excuse me, sir.
"You've tried to open the door to Linar Mall, and what are you two doing right now?"
We are flying to that window.
That
Okay.
window.
Right.
Same route
That
we
kind
did
of the
before.
griffin opening.
Yep.
All right.
Is there a window adjacent to it at all that might lead into
there's-
that room?
No.
No.
There's windows above it, which you think might be to the floor above.
Okay. If I look through that window, what do I see?
Let me double check which window it is,
Okay.
really quick. Well, you know what? They might be windows into that room. Yeah, they are windows into that room. Actually, there are other
Open
windows.
or just
No,
glass?
they're glass.
Okay.
You can still like use it to
See.
see into that room though.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's pure unchanged. You hear another cry of Velgalos.
Okay. We will swoop into the room that we can then.
Okay.
That we were in before. Carefully, obviously.
All right, roll stealth.
Okay. My lucky number, 23.
Nice. You guys appear not to be noticed by the griffins as you guys kind of perch on top of one of their cages or like kind of higher up in the room. You guys are kind of like flying
I
above.
want to, perch on the barrels again.
Okay, that is kind of in the corner right underneath the light. So you guys can kind of like hide behind some of the barrels.
Yeah.
There's like just enough space. Even if you were to return to your actual forms, you could probably still hide there.
Okay. What do I hear? Just hear him screaming? She's not talking?
You guys are kind of on the other side of the room.
Can't hear that well.
Yeah, it's a
Even with
large
our keen
space. Even with your keen hearing,
Okay.
there's griffins that are kind of like
yeah.
pecking and like the occasional caw of a griffin, you know.
Okay.
It's,
I wanna stay in my bird form. Just to stay inconspicuous, and I wanna go over to that door and listen.
Okay, yeah. Roll a perception check.
Do you want to as well?
Make some other stealth checks for me as you guys kind of leave your hiding spot.
My perception is 21.
27 for my perception.
All right.
My new stealth is 7.
8 for my stealth.
What did you say your stealth was?
8 is a 7.
Yeah.
Not
Some of
great.
the cages start to rattle as you guys kind of fly across, and some griffins are trying to like get at you.
Ugh.
You hear intermittently, because some of the birds are kind of loud, that she asks him, I know you know where these dragon troves are. They're left over from the war. You should know. Tell me now. And you kind of hear like a muffled response and another scream in pain. And
You
he
didn't
says,
make out the response.
no. It definitely sounded even before like he was kind of muffled by something. Something could be over his face. He says, I don't know. Maybe Clouth or Claugrimrith. Some of the other older dragons than me. I don't know. And she says, I don't believe you. And you hear another stab of pain kind of coming out. He says, it will only hurt more the longer you lie to me. Yeah, so the Castellan approached you.
Yes, good sir, I've had to break away from my party to come and there's more that I need to tell, something very important. I can't let them know that I'm telling you this. I need to speak with Sansari.
And what is it that you must tell her? She's very busy at the moment.
I know of a cloud giant with a horde of Austerian artifacts. He means to use them against the Countess.
Make a persuasion roll. Or deception.
But you tell the truth, aren't you?
He's
Not
not. He's
exact.
lying.
Oh, he is.
Lying a little.
He's that believable.
Definitely lying. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I rolled a 22.
His eyes kind of go wide and he says, alright, follow me.
Okay.
Good plan.
He shuts the door behind you and latches it. And he walks you down the kind of corridor. All the while, occasionally you can hear a cry of pain from a dragon.